Long ago in the land of Israel, a great tension filled the air. Two armies stood facing one another across a wide valley. On one side were the Israelites, weary and uncertain. On the other stood the Philistines, confident and bold. For many days, the conflict did not begin. Instead, a single warrior stepped forward from the Philistine camp each morning and evening. His name was Goliath. He was known for his great size and strength, and his presence alone struck fear into the hearts of many. When he spoke, his voice echoed across the valley. He challenged Israel to send one warrior to face him, promising that the outcome of the battle would be decided by this single fight. But no one stepped forward. The soldiers of Israel were afraid. Even King Saul, tall and strong himself, felt uncertain. Day after day, Goliath returned. Day after day, fear remained. Far from the battlefield, a young shepherd named David lived a quiet life. He spent his days watching over sheep, guiding them to water, protecting them from harm, and resting beneath the open sky. In those quiet moments, David learned to trust God deeply. Alone with nature, he prayed, sang, and reflected. David was the youngest of his brothers, often overlooked. While they trained as soldiers, David learned patience, courage, and faith in the stillness of the fields. One day, David's father asked him to take food to his older brothers at the battlefield. David obeyed and set out early, leaving his sheep in good care. When David arrived, he heard shouting in the distance. He saw the armies assembled and sensed the tension in the air. Then he heard Goliath's challenge. David watched the soldiers of Israel retreat in fear. He was puzzled. "Why does no one answer him?" David asked. "Why is everyone afraid?" Some soldiers dismissed him, reminding him that he was young and inexperienced. Even his brothers scolded him, telling him to return home. But David could not ignore what he had seen. It was not Goliath's strength that troubled him. It was the fear that had taken hold of God's people. David spoke openly about his trust in God, saying that the same God who had protected him in the fields would be with him now. Word of David's confidence reached King Saul, and David was brought before the king. Saul looked at David carefully. He saw a young man, not a trained warrior. Yet he also saw something rare, peace where there should have been fear. David told the king about his life as a shepherd. He spoke of moments when he had protected his flock, not through strength alone, but through trust and courage. "The Lord who protected me then," David said calmly, "will be with me now." Saul hesitated, but finally he agreed. He placed his armor on David, hoping it would offer protection. But the armor was heavy and unfamiliar. David struggled to move and soon removed it. "This is not for me," David said gently. Instead, David took what he knew, his shepherd's staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream. As David walked toward the valley, the noise of the battlefield seemed to fade. His heart was steady. His steps were calm. Goliath saw David approaching and laughed. To him, David looked small and unimportant. But David did not see himself as small. He saw God as great. He spoke with quiet confidence, saying that true strength does not come from weapons or size, but from trust in the living God. David placed a stone into his sling and focused. With a steady motion, he released it. The battle was decided not by force, but by faith. Fear gave way to awe. The Philistine army retreated, and the soldiers of Israel were filled with relief and gratitude. David had faced fear without allowing it to rule him. In the days that followed, David did not boast. He returned to his duties with humility, remembering that it was God who had given courage and victory. This story is not only about a boy and a giant. It is about the quiet strength that grows in moments of trust. It is about facing fear with faith instead of force. It is about remembering that even when we feel small, we are never alone. Each of us faces challenges that seem too big to overcome. Fear may stand before us, loud and intimidating. But like David, we can choose trust over fear. May this story remind you that courage begins in the heart, that peace comes from faith, and that God walks with us, even when the path feels uncertain.